Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BowlTV. My name is Matt Cannizzaro, and we are live here at the Samstown Bowling Center. We've got the battle for the #1 seed right now here on BowlTV. My name is Matt Cannizzaro. I probably already just said that alongside Bruce Hall.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing okay. I feel like I don't know what's happening. All frazzled here, but I've been doing this for like 15 days in a row, and it should be pretty smooth, but I think we're good. Everything's all set. The match is running here. Our match for the #1 seed, Michael Haugen Jr. and Norm Duke. 3 games. Total pins will determine, again, winner #1 for the televised finals, and the loser here, the #2 seed. So, still a pretty all right deal. I think guaranteed a spot in the step ladder. So that's a nice situation to be in. And these guys have bowled very well, rolling through the match play bracket here over the last 2 days. Let's take a look at Michael Haugen's run first, as he's up. He's a front runner for PBA 50 Player of the Year. He came in as the #3 seed this week, bowled very well, starting with the opening round on the fresh. He was actually the first squad leader, almost made it through the whole day in the top spot, but #3 overall after 15 games, and came in and defeated David Terrell 615 to 590 in the first round, and then took down Charlie Standish 647 607. Came back this morning even stronger, 735 656 over Dave Sims, and then 706 663 over Bob Learn Jr. And a last match to earn a spot guaranteed in the step ladder, defeated Keith Lesko 741 to 681. So now the right to take on Duke. Let's take a look at Duke's run through the bracket. He came from the other side. And Duke, there he is, started things off.
Just 1 second, folks. Michael Haugen has asked Matt a question. Matt's trying to answer it. I think it was something about the stepladder finals. And well, Duke, after the double, picks up the 4-pin.
All right, Bruce, Michael was asking if this was going to be the championship pair for tomorrow, and I do not have that noted. I will go double check on that after we give you the rundown here on Duke and his run through the bracket quietly. And he's trying to get back to the step ladder for the 2nd consecutive year. Qualified #16, took down Dennis Horan 698 633. Then it was Jerry Brunetti 738 595. Advanced and defeated our #64 seed, Michael Calvin, 705 to 677. Then it was Jerry Smith, 688 to 638. Daryl Bauer, 748 615 to get this meeting with Haugen. So a little motivation there to build upon last year's finish of 4th place.
Haugen up with 2 different balls already. A more aggressive ball on the right lane compared to the left. Michael, the master at different balls for different lanes and looking for the reaction that he wants. We're on the fresh, of course, so both guys way out, right up 3-4. Pretty much pointing right at it, and the normal way to do it is to get something aggressive and put a sand on it, get it pretty spongy and dull, and just roll it right up 3-4. That's what everybody pretty much has been doing on this pair with the Small variations lane to lane, 21 a little tighter. But nonetheless, Haugen playing it with a little bit less aggressive ball. I think he feels like the heads aren't as friendly on 21, and that one read early on him.
Bruce, I believe this was the match last year. Haugen lost to Duke in the opening round, 7-48, 7-43, and I feel like there was a crucial 7-10. It might even have been in the 10th frame. So perhaps a little bit of bitterness there. I mean, a high-scoring match to come down to something like that. I believe that's how it unfolded. So an opportunity here at some redemption. Haugen then lost right after that to Hugh Miller in the first round of the elimination bracket. So it seemed to motivate him. He went on to win not only the Senior U.S. Open the week after, but PBA Rookie of the Year, PBA 50. So I think he's been doing okay since, but what about the potential for adding another PBA 50 major to his resume?
Well, he's got 5 regular titles and with 1 major, the TOC, and we talked about earlier his comeback against Barnes, and then he's got 2 PBA 50 titles and 1 major, of course, the U.S. Open last year, and 2 weeks ago in Farmingdale, New York. So racking up very quickly moving to the 10 he would need to be eligible for the Hall of Fame, and of course Norm long in the Hall of Fame. And Duke has been opening up huge leads. I mean, initially he's been throwing big games early and just really just putting people away quickly, and threatening to do the same thing right here. Right up the pike, gets it a little left, lays off, trip 4. 32-pin early lead for Duke. And so we know the shootout will be on 19 and 20, Matt. But we don't know what pair the stepladder will be on.
Right, checking on that one. Just want to be as informed as possible. But yes, we'll have the shootout coming up this afternoon on 19 and 20. We also have some additional elimination bracket matches coming up. We'll have one here on 21 and 22, 20 minutes after this round concludes. So definitely a lot happening here at the same time right now for our 3 p.m. elimination matches. We'll have some good ones. We have Chris Warren taking on Walter A. Williams Jr. Chris Warren, what a run. He's averaging more than 250 since a first round loss yesterday. Walter A. Williams Jr., of course, the defending champion, looking to win back-to-back, first player to do so in more than a decade. And then just to our left, it is our number 64 seed. Great storyline there. Snuck into top 64, won a roll-off to get that last spot, and then has been bowling very well to remain now in the top 12 here. So Michael Calvin, what a run. Well, hopefully we'll get to see some more of him. But not if Bob Learn Jr. has anything to say about it. Bob taking him on this match, trying to get himself back to the stepladder. He finished 5th in last year's event. And then we have Ron Moore and Harry Sullins, 2 Hall of Famers, trying to get things done. Ron Moore is pretty much,
Week 10 followed by a week mixer 7-10 for Haugen.
Something about Norm Duke paralyzing to the conversation here as well.
Haugen, I think, just struggling to get that ball to read on the left lane.
Joe Haugen will need to string some. Norm Duke certainly knows how to strike. He's been doing so all day long.
Well, Haugen will figure it out if history is any indication. He'll come back with a big game in game 2 and maybe even game 3, and we'll see if he can recover. But Norm is not in the habit of taking the foot off the throat. And Norm, with the balk, steps on the cap, so good body handling there, not to fall. And, can't foul if you don't let it go. Meanwhile, the Calvin and Bob Learn Jr. match, each with a double, then a split and a four-bagger. The only difference is Learn made his split. He just gets up, resets, dead flush. .56-pin early lead for Duke. Calvin strike to our left. That's a tight match, as we said. Oh, got that one light for a opposite side baby split. 2-7. Matt gone off to, I think, answer Michael Haugen's question on the TV pair. Flushes again in lane 16. Just out of view of the camera on the left. Norm, no problem with the baby split. Switches balls again. Goes flush on the right lane. Meanwhile, Bob Learn Jr. flags the head pin right on lane 15. How about a super washout for Haugen? Switched balls again on that lane and got some push you didn't expect. Haugen in a deep hole here early. And not far from making it, but 7 out, staring at a $160, 178 possible. Very surprised to see Michael struggle this much on the fresh like this. Chris Warren looks like he just shot the second 300 of the tournament. And that may be where Matt went down to capture that on video. And sure enough, Chris Warren, 300 after averaging 250 in the elimination bracket, highlighted by an 847 series, comes out 300 in this round. .300 number 2, Matt. Normie.
300 number 2. I don't know what Chris Warren ate for breakfast or lunch yesterday, but holy cow, averaging 252 in 5 wins and now adding 300 in his first game against Walter Ray, who shot 257. So what a match over there.
257 down 43. Shake it off.
Man, I hate to.
And Walter's like, what do I need to do? human buzzsaw, and Norm with a tremendous lead here on this match, Matt. And look at this. Oh my Lord! It was a wiggling 5-10. The 5 falls right and tips the 10 out. For the second one in the 10th, Norm Duke's going to shoot 257 if he strikes here. But unlike the 300 that Chris Warren shot, Haugen's looking at $160. And give him the 257. Boy, that was a great little rattling 5 that fell right. Tip of it just caught the 10 and kicked it out. 257 for Norm.
All right, so Haugen in trouble early. Some excitement, and if you missed any of the excitement, we had some great highlights, all available on the official OC Facebook, USBC Facebook page. I was looking at some Open Championships posts a minute ago, but the official USBC Facebook page, Sport of Bowling USBC, highlights from the entire event. This is day 5 already, so a lot of good stuff. If you guys want to go catch up, definitely go ahead and do that.
All those videos you're capturing of those 300s and near 300s.
So people love 300s, and I think just as much they love failure just as much as the successes. So
failure is not an option. And Haugen's second one of the 10th will get to 178. But that's going to be a 79 pin deficit going into the next match. Somebody told me that A, Michael Haugen was going to shoot 170, and B, was going to be down by 79 pins after game 1 in this match for the number 1 seed, and never would have believed it. And looks like Michael might have found something for next game. Let's see what he can do. Now checking in on the Calvin match, Bob Learn with a 1 pin advantage, 245 to Calvin's 244. Flat 10 for Norm, and checking in on the Jerry Smith-Steve Badavinik match. Jerry Smith opens in the 10th to post 188. Badavinik can double for 210. And actually Badavinik missed, so Badavinik looking at 200 even. That'll give him a 12 pin advantage if he converts the spare. And mark it. Checking in on our Ron Moore, Harry Sullins match. Another 257, Matt. Ron Moore, 257 against Sullins' 203.
Wow, these guys have figured out the magic formulas after all these games, and it's going to take some big numbers right now. Haugen and Duke guaranteed to make the step ladder, but everybody else fighting for survival here.
And Moore just disposed of the great Lenny Boresh, of course, on our TV pair. Haugen unable to strike like he did in the 10th. Got to get going. You hate to see your second frame in the second game, but he's almost in a must-strike situation. He's got to start stringing some. Jerry Smith just dumped one in the channel on 27. Couldn't see his release, blocked by the pole. Don't know what quite happened there, but in the channel nonetheless. And Michael hung that one right off the 2 board and rolled it up for a mixer strike. Just poetry in motion for Norm Duke. Nice forward roll, right up 3-4. Everything right in front of him. And a beautiful strike by Calvin in the second frame on the Bob Learn Jr. match. Bobby learned with a split in the second frame. That's going to give Calvin the advantage on that match. They were at a 1-pin differential going in. Jerry Smith did not convert that spare after the gutter ball. Meanwhile, Norm doubles. Will not be taking his foot off the gas here. There we go. And Jerry Smith, after the channel shot, goes through the beak. 3-6, 7-10. Go. Blows the rack for Haugen. Getting back on track now. Don't blink, Norm. Maybe the first time I've ever seen Norm get his elbow out a little bit, and that just was left off his hand and through the beak. No trouble though. 3-6. No problem there. And Norm back on track with a perfect shot on 21. And how about Chris Warren? Next game after 300, he goes triple, 9 spare, next 4. Walter goes spare, double, spare 5-bagger, and he's still down in the match. Got some hooting and hollering. Could be another hit for Warren.
He does have a nice little fan club here. Andy Warren's here, and today's their mother's 92nd birthday, Mary Warren.
Wow.
Happy birthday, wow.
Happy birthday.
847 series of 300 game is still alive at the Senior Masters. I'd say it's a heck of a day, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet for Michael Haugen either.
I hate to say that one miss is a miscue by Norm, but these scoring conditions, going for the number 1 and number 2 seed, Haugen's jumping all over it. Haugen chips into that lead by 12 this game. Check that, Haugen up by 32 this game. And Norm another miss in the right lane. So we're down to a 40-some pin match now.
Chris Warren, holy moly, Bruce. At 847 earlier, now he's going to be 300, 279. And absolutely nothing Walter Ray can do. He's right there at 257. And now he can be in the 260s here, and he'll be down a bunch. Holy moly.
Didn't he need 221 for 800 last match when he
did.
shot that 847?
He did. He started with 289, 290.
Right. And here he is again with the same start, 579.
Unreal. Unbelievable.
Duke and Haugen, the only blue scoring left, indicating winner's bracket. Everything else red, indicating elimination bracket. And Norm with a little bit of a steer there, maybe a flat 10. Talk about a momentum shift. Under a 40-pin match now. Haugen can get it absolutely within shouting distance if he can get these next two.
All right, Bruce, we are down to our final 12 players here at the 2018 USBC Senior Masters. And it is getting exciting. The crowd is growing both online and in person. How could you want to miss this?
Oh,
but
yes.
Haugen doesn't want to miss it.
And the storylines are just great, Matt. Between Calvin at the 64 seed and momentum shifts back and forth in this match. Chris Warren, fight for PBA Player of the Year points in the lead between Haugen and Walter Ray Williams Jr. The legend Harry Sullen still in. Another good shot by Haugen. Blows the rack. Takes out the 7. So if my math is right, this is down to a 6-pin match. It may not be. We'll have to add it up. And there's a good shot in the right lane by Normie. I show it 398 to 404. Both with strikes up. And how about a late 10-pin for Norm? He stared it down. What a match. Turn it up. It was late, he knew it. Move it right. Haugen now 269 possible. He was trailing by more than 70. And Norm with a 237 possible. So Norm could get the lead back up to about 40. Checking in on the Calvin match, he's opened up a, looks like a just under a 20-pin lead against Bob Learn Jr. Right on the corner on that one. Gets it to roll. He had a mitt full on that one, and he got to roll right off the 1.5 board. Got it back up to the pocket. Takes a re-rack. Is it for pacing, or does he really not like the rack?
Definitely a good question, a key shot here. So we just needed the extra breather, a moment to regroup.
First rule of re-racks: if you take a re-rack, the new rack that comes down will always be better. Right, Matt? Except when it's not.
Well, you're right, though. A lot of times it is a strategic maneuver. See if it helps here. Haugen with the extra minute to get his thoughts together.
Well, paid off. It was a pretty good shot. He rolls the 10.
And it pays off.
Slow rolling Messenger over to take the 10 out. Gets him to the 260s. Just what the doctor ordered for Michael Haugen.
Yeah. Steve Badavinik doing some hard work against Jerry Smith. He's going to be in the 250s this game. Best Jerry Smith can do is 159. So a little bit of a cushion there for Badavinik.
Another ball change. So we just watched Bob Learn leave a swishing 7-10 on 15 in his 10th frame. Can't convert. It's going to put him at 180. And Normie, big shot there. Calvin with a possible 229 this game. 190 for Bob Learn Jr. Sorry about that. Calvin gets the first one on the 10th. He's going to have a healthy lead going into this last game. And Duke to the 230s. Get that lead back up to 40 something.
All right, big numbers. We do appreciate everybody being here. Looks like some newcomers. My name is Matt Canizaro alongside Senior Masters competitor Bruce Hall, bringing you the action live from Samstown Bowling Center. Our match for the #1 seed here, Norm Duke and Michael Haugen Jr. And we've got a great match through 2 games. Duke at 493. And Haugen closes the gap a little bit. He's at 447.
46. My math is right, down from 70 something. He'll need another game like that for sure. Don't have any hope. But he looks like he has the look to do it. Calvin does double in the 10th. Gets him to 229. That'll put him at 473 to Bob Learn's 435. That's 38 pin lead for Calvin, the number 64 seed.
Well, just a rundown of what we're seeing right here between Haugen and Duke. The winner will be #1 seed for the stepladder, and the non-winner will be the #2 seed. Those guys will be done for the day. Back tonight for a photo, and then back on the lanes tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then in our elimination bracket, the winner between Chris Warren and Walter A. Williams Jr. will take on the winner between Calvin and Learn. And then the winner down yonder between Moore and Sullins and Badavinik and Jerry Smith. Those two will battle it out. And the winners of those 2 matches will advance to our 4-player shootout later today. So our next round will come up 20 minutes after this round. We'll get reset and we'll get going for that. And then we'll have the shootout approximately 20 minutes after that. So we'll have 1 match here on our featured pairs in our next round. Same lanes, 21 and 22. And then we'll have our shootout round on 19 and 20. Already seeded into the shootout, Darryl Bauer and Keith Lesko. They were the other 2 bowlers left in the winner's bracket prior to this match. So they lost to Duke and Haugen. So they're not guaranteed anything at this point, but they'll have a 75% chance of making the show. Well, there'll be 4 bowlers in the shootout. 3 will advance. High score for that 3 games will be #3 seed. Next score will be #4, and then the last will be #5. Of course, the low man will be out and finish 6th overall at this year's Senior Masters. Pretty simple, right? Duke.
Normie gets something from the back to carry the flush 8. Big break. He knows it's a break. Not that the Stone 8 is ever a good break, but get something to come back and carry it. It's huge. I'll take 3 out of 4 chances to make the show.
So Walter Ray and Chris Warren. The difference was 74 pins coming into this game. Chris Warren was at 579, Walter Ray at 505. And now Walter with an open in the 3rd, but a 5-bagger. He still can get to 254. And Chris Warren had a split as well, but he has a strike up in the 8th. He can get to 241. So I might wander down that way one more time while this match is going. I'm sure I'll be back well before the end of Haugen and Duke, and we'll meet our #1 seed here coming up in just a few minutes, folks. I'll be right back. Bruce Hall, it's all yours.
I'll mind the store while you're gone. Haugen did stay with the ball change. doesn't get it to react. Looks like he changed balls and made like a 1-and-1 or 1.5 left move, just to move everything in a little bit. And that one just skated on the oil hair, didn't pick up. 2-8. And with a 46-pin deficit, you can ill afford that. So Ron Moore checking in on that match. 492 to 425 leader over Harry Sullins. Really? No kidding. Here's a normal slap 10, just a normal shot, and for some reason the 7-pin stayed up. That makes no sense, that hit. See, just about every kind of hit there is, and that was very strange. Should have gone. And Norm knows it. Calvin with an early open in the third game, giving a little light to Bob Learn, who's down 38 in that match, but now with the open, we'll get that down in the 20s, that match. And Normie gets the mixer, carries the 10. Really should have been 4. That shot on 22 is a very, very strange 7-pin. And Walter Ray finishes up with 756. He shoots 251 his last game. And he's going to get drilled by Chris Warren. Even though Warren just went big hole in the 10th, 5 split, he's already at 765 plus the count. So Chris Warren will advance. Haugen cleans up his spare. And Calvin just went by a 2-8. That's a makeable, somewhat of an unforced error, and further tightening up that match. That match now close to single pins. A 14-pin match for Bob Learn. Can he strike? Ring 10 on 16. Keeps it at 14. Bob was on a strike. Can't double. Normie can just about... Oh, he gets the kick on the 10. And a little payback for that 7-pin. Norm really hasn't missed this game. And Matt just saw Walter Ray finish up with 751, loser.
Yeah, that was a big number. I think the final score ended up being 772, 756, something around that.
Brutal.
And
756. That's right. He shoots 251 his last game.
I believe the highest losing score of the event. And holy cow, Chris Warren though opened in the 10th. Otherwise, it would have been another 790.
Normie blows the rack. He knew it when he let it go. just about closing the door here. Came in with a 46 pin advantage. And up 22 this game. So Michael Haugen, he can go 267 if he goes off the sheet, which means that Normie would only have to shoot 221. And Norm already on that pace. And Michael, now that 267 is down in the 240s, so this match just about decided. Again, the Michael Calvin, Bob Learn Jr. match has tightened up considerably. Down to 14 pins now. And Calvin with a 9 spare in the 5th, and Bobby with a strike up. And Haugen gets one to roll up. Good shot. Calvin with a big can opener shot on 15. Put a strike up, 14 pin lead. Bob Learn Jr. can step up and take the lead here. He can double. Only 4 frames to go in that match. Devastating blower strike by Learn. Norm, no problem with the 10 pin. No spare ball for Norm, just flattens his hand. Like Brian Voss and some of the other guys out here, just throw it straight. Bobby absolutely crumbles the bucket. That was a 2-4-5. And something comes out and kicks the 2-5 out and strikes. Give Bob Learn the lead. Calvin on a strike can take the lead back right here. And this match, of course, on 15 and 16, just to our left. Six-pin lead for Learn. And a beautiful shot by Calvin. Gets the light mixer to go and give him the lead back. And Michael now back to a different ball in the right lane. I wonder if he juggles them at home. All the balls that Michael works with within a single game. Calvin dead flush.
So much going on here,
Extends
Bruce.
his lead.
So much.
Well, Calvin lost the lead. We're in a seesaw match down here on 15 and 16. 2 lead changes in the last 2 frames.
We already know one of our bowlers headed to the next round. Chris Warren defeated our defending champ Walter Ray Williams Jr. Big score, 772, 756. And now waiting to see if he'll take on Michael Calvin or Bob Learn Jr.
Bobby Learn, tragedy. Greek Church. Got it a little bit left, right through the beak. And here's Normie with almost a double pinochle of his own.
Here's Steve Badavinik cruising against Jerry Smith. Smith shooting 463.
Norm is now doing the math. I can tell him that he's up by 46. If he gets 2 of these, he goes 87, 96. Haugen can go 247, which would make Norm just show up with count in the 10th. I don't believe Haugen can catch him. Let's see if Norm and I come to the same conclusion. These guys should spend more time in the booth and do all the math that we do, Matt.
Well, that's what you're here for. You're the math guy right now.
I hope I'm right.
I hope you're right as well. I'm trusting your expertise with, I don't want to say, a few more decades of experience.
Well, he went for it. He might have thought he had to make it. Let's see how this adds out. 94. So
the difference was 46.
Yeah, well, let's add 46 to his score. That's going to put him at 250. So he'll be at 270 with a mark, or 259 without a mark, and the best Haugen can do is 247. So I think it's game over if Norm just keeps it on the lane. But Norm thought he had to go for it. So, and guess what? Calvin strikes again. And Learn with the Greek Church. And Norm just throws it up and at him. He goes bucket, but 2-8. It's going to be enough.
That is correct. If he goes 8 out here, he still would win by a pin.
Yep, 695, and the best Haugen can get to is 694.
That was plenty. So Norm Duke going to be our #1 seed for the stepladder finals of the 2018 USBC Senior Masters. Michael Haugen will be #2. And we've still got some other matches going on. Steve Badavinik cruised to a win in his match. Chris Warren, a winner. Ron Moore going to defeat Harry Sullins. Now just awaiting the final score. Bob Learn and Michael Calvin.
Calvin's got the match in hand. I'm just trying to see if it's possible for Learn to strike out and catch him. I don't think it is. Calvin looking at 205 this game. That'll put him at 678. And Learn can only get to the 650s. So I believe Calvin is going to advance. Our number 64 seed, the Cinderella story of this tournament. And give Calvin the 205.
Final shots here coming up for Haugen. Again, he will be #2 in the stepladder tomorrow. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock here in Las Vegas, if you want to come by and check that out. And in just a minute, we'll be down to our final 8 players. 8 more players out of a field of 272. Here in our featured pair, we'll have one of the elimination bracket matches. We'll have Chris Warren, and it looks like Michael Calvin. So that'll be great. We can talk about Calvin's run a little bit here. And then the other match will be Ron Moore and Steve Badavinik. And then the winners there advance to the shootout, where they'll meet Keith Lesko and Daryl Bauer. And folks, that is going to do it for this round of match play at the 2018 USBC Senior Masters. We're minutes away, actually 20 minutes away from our next match, so we'll sign off and come back on. We do appreciate everybody being here. We're going to reset. We'll have a whole new event set up for it, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.